Good afternoon, everyone, or whatever time of day it is for you. I wanted to just take a few minutes, I know everyone's busy, and talk to you a little bit about some things that I've learned oh, over the last probably couple of months. Um, and I know that there seems to be a pattern among a lot of clients where they start on the program, the 5-in-1. They have some success, and they're good for a while, and then they just start slipping back into some old patterns of eating, and then through whatever, some life events happen, death of a loved one, illness, injury, life changes, and it seems to be challenging to keep up with what we need to do to keep ourselves in that healthy place. So we end up letting ourselves go back to the way we used to be. And then we get frustrated and we get discouraged. This doesn't happen to everybody. There are some out there that are, they've lost their weight, they're keeping it off, they're doing a great job, but I find that there's a higher percentage of people who aren't. So they find success, they often what happens is they don't quite reach their goal, and then they just don't transition, and before they know it, their weight is back on. And so they get back on the program for maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, and then something comes up that they just lose their focus, and they're gain back the 5 or 6 pounds that they've lost, and then they start again, and they're good for a week, maybe 10 days, and it's just this cycle. It goes around and around and around, and then they feel bad and they beat themselves up. They ask, well, why can't I just stay on the 5-in-1? It was so easy when I did it before. And that's true for a lot of us. I mean, I've struggled with that myself, and we always talk about, as a health coach, that this isn't a diet. Yes, this is a way we lose weight, and we're focusing on the weight loss, and so it feels like a diet. We're restricted as far as what we can eat, and so that part feels like a diet. So here's my like light bulbs that went on, and I hope that it's helpful to you. It's nothing new. You've probably heard it before, um, but so here, but I want to share it with you anyway in case the reminder helps you. So what I wanted to share with you is that the 5-in-1 plan, the Medifast meal replacements that we use, are not intended for you to be on that for the rest of your life. It's a tool to get you to a healthy weight. And while you're on that journey, it's your responsibility and mine as a coach, but I can guide you, I can lead you, is to really learn how to eat healthy so you're not dependent upon the Medifast food, making good choices when you go out to eat, when you're at social events, exercising, doing all the things that will keep you in that healthy place. So this is the book that we use. I don't know if it's going to be backwards for you or not, but Dr. A's Habits of Health. That's a very good tool, but I think that, like anything, like you could have the best hammer and the best saw and the best skill saw and the best tools in the world to build a beautiful house. If you don't know how to use those tools, you're going to end up with probably not a very good looking house. Or you might not end up with a house at all. You might get frustrated because you don't know how to do it. You don't have that blueprint, and you might just quit before you're actually there. So I think the biggest thing for you to do, if you haven't done it already, is to make the decision, do I want to be healthy? Is my desire to be healthy, at a healthy weight, living a healthy lifestyle, is that want bigger than the food that people eat when we're at social events? Is it bigger than wanting that popcorn when I'm at the movie theater? or sitting down at night and having that ice cream, or whatever you used food for in the past. If you're anything like me, I'm a big emotional eater, a stress eater, a sad eater. When I'm tired, I use food to help me feel better, but I use the wrong food. Those comfort foods, they make you feel better while you're eating them, and they make you feel really bad after because they don't get you where you want to go. They just temporarily relieve some anxiety or relieve some stress. But that stress and anxiety is still there once you're done eating whatever it is you ate. So you really have to ask yourself, am I willing to change how I look at food, how I use food? Um, it doesn't mean you can't ever have it doesn't mean you can't ever have a piece of cake or a piece of pizza or anything like that again. But when you use food as your drug of choice, I think that's why it's so hard for people to make that change, because I think that's the underlying reason people are faltering and putting the weight back on, is because they never make that change up here. I don't know if you're too fearful or it seems like it's too much work, because it is a lot of work. It's a lot of work up here to make it happen. The Medifast meal replacements, the 5-in-1, the weight's going to come off so quickly, and you feel good and you have lots of energy. But that only gets you to your healthy weight. It doesn't keep you there. You really need to make the change up here, change the way we look at food, change how we use food, and for some people that change is just too overwhelming and too much work. So you've got to really ask yourself, am I willing to do whatever it takes to leave the world of obesity behind me and move into the world of health and be the best that I can be with what I have? And the answer might be no. The answer might be no, I'm not willing to do that. I'm not willing to give up my, I don't know, fill in the blank. For some people, Sunday afternoons are with their friends and they're watching football and they're eating all the food that is not good for you, because that's part of Sunday afternoon football. The chips and the salsa and the hot dogs and the wings and the whatever else you might have. People, there's food that's related to different events, and I don't know, sometimes people are just afraid to not have that food. I don't know what they think will happen. Oh my gosh, if I don't have cake at a birthday party, somebody might think I'm rude. Or how can you not have cake at a birthday party? Well, what if you have 5 birthday parties in a week? I mean, at some point, you've got to draw the line and say enough is enough. Or, you know what? You can just say, okay, I don't want it enough to make this permanent change. And that's your life. It's okay to do that. As long as you know what it is you want. When you know what you want, you can go after it. So I'm going to put it out there that the reason people are gaining their weight back is because they haven't mentally moved out of the world of being on a diet. Keep yourself on a diet. It's restrictive. You're miserable. I can't have this. I can't have that. And so they stop, and then they start binge eating and just eat whatever they weren't allowed to have to begin with. If you can shift your thinking to, I'm using this as a tool, I'm using this plan as a tool, the weight loss phase as a tool to get me down to the weight I want to be at, and I'm going to learn what I need to do to stay there. And you've all heard the saying, nothing tastes as good as thin feels. Well, I would invite you to take a good long look at where you're at, where you want to be, and if I can be of help, I'm on the journey with you. I would love to support you and be part of your journey. And I hope you have a good rest of the day.